अब दोस्तों आज खास हम जो जिस विषय को लेकर इकट्ठा हुए हैं कि हाइलाइट्स एंड इम्प्लीमेंट्स ऑफ लेटेस्ट एमसीएस एक्ट 1960। दोस्तों इस एमसीएस एक्ट 1960 1960 का एक गंभीर विषय है और इस पे हाइलाइट्स और अमेंडमेंट और इम्प्लीमेंट क्या क्या हुए लेटेस्ट, तो वो उसकी जानकारी के लिए मैं वेलकम करूंगा, स्वागत करूंगा आगे की कार्रवाई बढ़ाने के लिए जी सुरेंद्र साहब और हमारी उमा मैडम जी को, उमा वर्धन जी को प्लीज वेलकम।
Thank you so much, Sunil sir. Thank you for the introduction. And ये MSW से WA और MNS मीडिया से जुड़ी होने का एक सौभाग्य है हमारा रागास कंसल्टेंट से। एंड वी हैव बीन डूइंग दिस काइंड ऑफ वेबिनार्स, मतलब ये ऐसी तरह एक वेबिनार्स हम मतलब सामने लेकर आ रहे हैं सबको लिए, ताकि ये एक्ट जो एमसीएस एक्ट सबके लिए समझ में आवे। और क्योंकि ज्यादातर जो अटेंड करते हैं वो इधर कमिटी मेंबर्स है, नहीं तो ऑफिस बेयरर्स है और इन मेंबर्स ऑफ द सोसाइटी, उनके लिए मतलब ये एमसीएस एक्ट क्या और ये ऑफिस बेयरर के साथ जो संबंध होता है, एंड दे हैव टू डील विद एमसीएस एक्ट इतना अच्छी तरह बनाया गया है एंड हर एक चीज के लिए आंसर देता है कि एनीथिंग दैट हैपेंस इन द सोसाइटी, उसका हर एक चीज के लिए एक आंसर तो मिलता है इसमें से। नाउ इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग अभी आज का जो है, इट इज सो सिग्निफिकेंट और वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि ये अमेंडमेंट जो है 2019 का अमेंडमेंट जो है वेरी वेरी एक महत्वपूर्ण मैं मानता हूं, क्योंकि दिस इज फर्स्ट ऑफ अ टाइम वेयर a separate chapter has been created for housing societies. A separate chapter has been been created for housing societies. अभी तक मतलब क्या है, एक पूरा as you all know मतलब कोऑपरेटिव हाउस कोऑपरेटिव एक्ट के मुताबिक अंदर जो यूनिट्स रजिस्टर होते हैं ओके सोसाइटीज एक्ट के अंदर, इट कुड बी cooperative housing societies or cooperative banks, cooperative credit societies, consumer credit societies, and all these sugar mills and cotton mills, all this can be whichever any activity which requires cooperation of members, तो ये सोसाइटीज के अंदर रजिस्टर हो सकता है। एजुकेशन, ऑल दिस यूनिवर्सिटीज इफ यू सीज, ऑल ऑफ देम, मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर रजिस्टर्ड अंडर सोसाइटीज एक्ट, बिकॉज सोसाइटी वेलफेयर के लिए जो होते हैं। लेकिन खासकर क्या होता था इससे पहले, तो ये सोसाइटीज का मतलब कौन सा अप्लीकेबल है, कौन सा नॉट अप्लीकेबल है, ये बड़ा एक चर्चा होता था। एंड many cases used to be used to come in like societies act में दिया गया है तो it should be applicable to societies, but now the court says or the registrar says no, this is not applicable to societies, this is applicable to either cooperative banks or credit societies. Now I think पिछले 3 साल 5 साल 6 साल से रमेश प्रभु सर का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण एक एक रोल प्ले किया है। इनफैक्ट ही इज बीन part of this entire creating a separate chapter for housing societies का जो था, उसमें भी सर का बहुत सारे contribution था इसमें। Now today we can proudly say that we have a separate chapter for housing societies, and that happened in 2019. And first they have okay, this is what the significance of today's is all about. And we might not be dealing with the whole of the amendments today, but if the significant parts of those amendments we will deal with, and based on the questions that comes during the ask isme, we will take it up part 2, part 3, part 4. To what extent we need to go deep into it, we don't know. Okay, but yes, we made some highlights of this amendment, and we will take through that. This is what aaj ka विषय है. That's what it says, highlights of amendments 2019 to MCs Act 1960. Okay, yes ma'am, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. And as Ragas, as a team, आज हम लोग ये webinar conduct कर रहे हैं, it's all because of Prabhu sir only, and credit goes to him. Like, I want to say only one single thing. Somewhere in 2017 or 18, we both met Prabhu sir in his office. तभी I was doing my LLB. मैं सर को बोला सर मुझे सब छोड़ना है, मुझे करना नहीं है. He asked me only one question, Uma, if you are going to leave this, what you are going to do? That one question, then I didn't open my mouth. He said, you do LLB and see where you will be placed. So we did our LLB. The day we finished our LLB, we got this platform to share our knowledge, because we both in Ragas, the team, as a team, we are educationists. We also love being in the education field. So like that, we are already into accounting, auditing, legal retainership, and education, where we want to pass our knowledge which we got from the experts and through the experience we have gained over a period of time. Thank you very much, Ramesh Prabhu sir, and special thanks to our Sunil Sharma ji, who have been relentlessly following up with us for each and every topic. हर टॉपिक पे एक हफ्ता पहले ही बोलेगा, उमा जी टॉपिक दे दो, क्या बोलना चाहते हैं, व्हाट इज द वन यू हैव रेड. दैट रेडीनेस जो हम लोग करते हैं, so these two team relentlessly work for the people of Maharashtra to get the value out of the MCS Act. अगर हम लोग ये वेबिनार नहीं दिया तो who will give? Only the team of Mahaseva, team of our MNS and team of Ragas, and these people who are on board, we are there to give the MCS Act on the platter to the people of Maharashtra. And आज का टॉपिक में ये one important thing is what this topic is all about, and we are going to talk about elections. हम लोग ये टॉपिक लेने के टाइम ऐसा भी सोचा कि पिक एंड चूज करें, ऐसा नहीं कि सब बोले, only pick and choose the topic which is really benefiting the members. So election, type of members, role of housing federation, transfer of rights upon death of a member, induction of cooperative housing association, other highlights, which is the small highlights, and the recap. So this topic is all about, what is this topic is all about? As Sudhindra had said, this particular amendment is very special. Why? Because they have culled out the housing society laws separately to bring in more clarity for the people of housing society, which they can follow. Abhi 2 saal ho gaya, we are following this new particular amendment, so we want to bring out the salient features of this particular amendment. So that is why this topic is all about. Yes sir, you wanted to tell something on this?
Yeah. So now, as I said, like, I mean, as even Uma ma'am said, like, it's so significant. Yes, definitely, because separate chapter has been created, like 154B has been. In fact, I mean, only 154A was there and 154B is created. And they have made 2 chapters in the sense, like, one is, they call it as muttandis. That means, I mean, the existing, these acts will continue to be there for, I mean, they've taken out all the respective acts which are applicable to, you know, housing societies in 154B. They called it as muttandis, which means like they will continue to exist. And next chapter they've just given the section numbers which are does not, you know, applicable. They are not applicable to housing societies. They made it so clear. Now the third part is now the changes. Now we are going to talk about the changes. We are not talking about which sections have been kept as it is for 154B, that is applicable to, you know, housing societies, and which are not applicable to housing societies जो निकाला गया है, वो दोनों के बारे में हम लोग नहीं बात कर रहे. जो रिटेन किया गया है उसमें से जो चेंजेस किया गया है, that we are going to really talk about today. That too only salient or significant or important, you know, amendments that have been done. Ma'am, next slide आप बता दीजिए वो today's topic brief.
Yeah, this election has always been a concern for each and every society. कभी भी देखो election एक concern हो जाता है. All the cooperative society were to go through honorable registrar for appointment of election officer. ये process थोड़ा लंबा होता था, and the thing is, even in the government, in the registrar office, there were a lot of application used to come for this, even the small society election. So now, in this amendment, it was very clearly told 250 members up to or less than the election of the committee shall be conducted from amongst the members of the society. इसका मतलब And the election is something very, very important for a society, even it is big or small. So in the new amendment, what they did was only 250 and less, they will be conducting the election by selecting the returning officer of their own inside of the society, and the election can happen. उसका अलग से रूल दिया. This is a very, very big transformation, I can say, क्योंकि इसमें दो चीज होता है. The members where it is below 250, where they don't need to go to the registrar, and even for the registrar, the small society handling the process is very lengthy. So it is a very, very important move which has been taken in this act, in this amendment. And the second one is the type of members. In the type of members, what happens? Earlier there were primary member, associate member, and nominal member. But now the particular member has been changed. That is the member, associate member, joint member, and the provisional member. These are the members who have been introduced for the benefit of the members in the housing society. Because even in this associate member को लेके बहुत सारा चर्चा हुआ. There are many cases which has been filed in the law. So what they did was, taking everything into consideration, they have changed the definition of the members. Now, type of members में first one is the member. Member is a person who is joining as a member by virtue of owning the unit. वो जो यूनिट लेता है उसको मेंबरशिप एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म देके he has to enter as a member. Second is associate member is a one is admitted by member to exercise only the rights and duties, and his name does not appear in the share certificate. You understood, no? Here he doesn't own a title, and he is not a lawful owner, but definitely he is an associate member. He has a powers for rights and duties. And who can become the associate member? We will see in the next slide. There is a definition as to कौन हो सकता है, क्योंकि earlier the definition was, why they didn't bring, I will tell you, associate member में they brought only the member who is a part of the share certificate, क्योंकि कोई भी आने से problem हो जाएगा. They can't put any relative or any friend as associate member. So now the amendment is very clear. When there is an associate member, they should be part of the family. Next, joint member करके दिया. पहला क्या था? A person who is the part of the share certificate, that is the joint member, is the member who is the part of the share certificate. Next, he is a joint holder basically. Next is the provisional member is the one who is admitted temporarily on the basis of the nomination upon death of the member. This is very important. Agar a member dies in the flat, so what happens is, who will be taking the ownership of the flat? It is the provisional member. The provisional member is nothing but who is the nominee of the person who has expired. Now, coming to the associate member can exercise the rights with the written recommendation from the member, and they can be either spouse, that is husband or wife, father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, nephew or niece. They are very clear in the law, and this is a very big move which this particular amendment has brought it, and there is a lot of clarity when it comes to the member. Yes, sir. You want to add any thing to this slides, sir?
Yeah. Okay. Now there is a lot of clarity is there. Okay. Yeah. So now they have just made a distinction between the joint member, who is a joint holder of the property, and there is associate member. Now they brought in. Okay. Associate member is somebody who is a proxy kind of a thing for a member. So now who all can be the proxy? They have given as a definition under family. Okay. And if you really see it, father-in-law, mother-in-law is deleted from this. So they cannot be. Father-in-law, mother-in-law is not there. So that is most important thing. And rest of them, spouse is there, like that is wife and husband, father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, nephew, niece. So the most important is father-in-law, mother-in-law has been taken out, and the nominal member, that is provisional member. इससे पहले जो nominal member जो था कहा करते थे हम लोग. Now the provisional member, the definition is same. He is only a trustee or a caretaker. He cannot become the owner. Now, ma'am said, like, I think it's slip of a tongue. She said, like, who can take the ownership of the flat after the death? That's incorrect. It's not the ownership. Who will take care of the property, okay, upon the death of the member, okay, because he's only a nominal. He's a temporary, okay, till the, you know, the legal heirs, they come and claim the property and rights of the property. Till such time, somebody should be there to take care of the property. That's who the provisional member or is a nominee member earlier. So this is what the change they brought in. So I think they brought in, I mean, this amendment has brought in, you know, a lot of clarity as to what it is and what it is not. Now, if you go further down, okay, they've made very clear, like, which are the documents on the death of the member that are valid, that, you know, the society should consider. Earlier, there used to be a lot of gray area, like, you know, whatever the committee, you know, decides, they can, you know, do it. And there are many cases where nominees, you know, people have, I mean, the societies have transferred property to the nominees, and nominees have sold the properties also. And we are really just, you know, we are private to that, and we are, you know, we know many cases in societies in Bombay and Navi Mumbai and rest of Maharashtra. People have done that because it wasn't clear. Now it is very clear. This act is made very clear to it. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then comes the role of Housing Federation widened as per the guidelines issued by the registrar. See, when will the value add come for the registrar by the Housing Federation is when certain norms or the powers is given to the Housing Federation. Housing Federation have the membership. They take the membership of all the housing societies. Now, they are given certain powers or certain responsibilities such that the functioning can be made smooth. First comes the training and development. Arranging seminars on issues related to cooperative housing society. So what I mean by issues related to cooperative housing society, they can also conduct, number one, whatever the new any amendment comes or any, for example, there is a corona and there were lot of changes internally in the local area as to municipality norms. So they can give all the information related to that, and they can also be a part of the compulsory education of 154B where 29, where the particular federation is also charging a nominal fee and they are conducting this education. The education can be, the training and development can be for managing committee people, it can be for managers, it can be for special recovery officer, and it can also be for the members. Now coming to the panel, they can prepare, declare and maintain panel of recovery officers and managers. This is very, very important. See, actually the recovery certificate is issued by the registrar, but there will be somebody, the body who will be the particular people who are enrolled in the panel will be taking care of the recovery. That recovery, training, preparing the schedule, declaring and maintaining the panel is done by the Housing Federation. Next is apply to the registrar for necessary orders for appointment of trained personnel as a special recovery officer. Now, after undergoing this training, there will be a certificate issued by the Housing Federation saying that such and such person is eligible to be a recovery officer. We request you to take him on board, and the power to be issued by the registrar for this person to act on behalf of the registrar, and it is through the Housing Federation. Now, when we tell this, there are guidelines within the scope and the guideline of the registrar. This particular Housing Federation will be operating with the guidelines and with the support of the registrar as a right hand for them. This is a very big move which has come in this 154.
Just, yeah, it's very important amendment. Okay, now the federations, as we all know that for a number of decades, like federations are more of a printing and I mean all stationery जो है वो उधर से हमको मिलता है. अगर आपको आई रजिस्टर चाहिए तो फेडरेशन से मंगाइए, जे रजिस्टर चाहिए और some forms चाहिए. So this is a place where it is available. So it used to be very limited role there they were playing these federations, right? Though they, I mean, all the societies in that particular area, used to get registered, and there are all experts sitting there at the federation, and then whichever society has got any doubt whatsoever, either bylaws book mangwana hai or kuch forms mangwana hai, federation was the one place. But now in this amendment, they have really widened the scope, because the registrar or registrar's office cannot do everything, right? Now they have delegated certain roles and responsibilities. Otherwise, okay, the registrar's office used to do that. Now they have delegated to them. For example, as ma'am said, like training and developing the recovery officers. They train them. They maintain the panel of recovery officers. Okay, they announce them, they declare, and they work very closely with the registrars. Okay, if any society, there is a recovery case. Okay, once the application has been put up to the registrar will just send that request to the federation. Federation will just suggest, okay, one particular recovery officer to the registrar in turn appoint, okay, the recovery officer for that particular society who will deal with the recovery of that. So now the scope has been really widened. Now, as we go further, the returning officers, okay, the training of returning officers also part of this federation, or any and they work very closely with the certification agencies. Like there are government approved institutes are there who will work with them, and then they coordinate with them and they get the certificates, and it's really extended now. And they also can really work with the registrar for any additional powers to be delegated to them. Now it is at the discretion of the registrar. Any power can be just given to the federations. As of now, it's more so like the panel of recovery officers. They can they declare, they maintain. Maintaining the panel means what? I mean, earlier, for example, election officers, there used to be a panel. Even now, of certified auditors, there is a panel where the list is maintained by the registrar himself. Now the federation will maintain such record or such the register for all recovery officers, where the respective federation will maintain that. Their job is to train them. Their job is to keep them on the panel, so that who are readily trained, and then who are ready to take up any recovery cases, and they work with the registrar. Now finally, registrar will just issue the orders, like such and such a recovery officer has been given to such and such a society, and then they will go that. But the behind the screen who is working is the federation working, which is a very good move. In fact, it's made now. Now the federations are really, they got activated. They are just, they've already enrolled people for recovery officers, and we are working with them. Okay, both MSWA as well as Ragas. We just working with federations in terms of how this entire system of recovery officers and the returning officers, the training and development can happen. We are working with them. Yes, it's really it's a really win-win situation for the societies, for the registrar, as well as the purpose for which the federation has been formed.
Yeah. The next point is, see how they have brought in clarity in case of transfer of interest upon death of the member. See, I can say this particular clause was there, but the clarity was given only in this 154B. Now, what happens upon death of the member? There are two conditions. One is they will either have with nominee or without nominee. Okay, so the nomination form is first accessed. So in the case where the nomination form is accessed, immediately the person is made as a provisional member. Okay, so till the time the actual claimant comes and claims the property. The nominee can also be the claimant of the property, but it takes time for people to come and submit the relevant documents. When I say relevant documents, what are those? It's very clearly given. Testamentary documents, where the will, the probate of will to be given, succession certificate, legal heirship certificate, as the case may be, and the document of the family arrangements, where it is decided by the persons, like it is a part of the will only, like there is a relinquishment deed which get uploaded, and these are the kinds of other documents in the family they make. So it is very clear, even the person is a nominee, is a legal hire, he has to become a provisional member, then submit everything whichever way he wants to, whichever is applicable to him, and become the member and take the full charge of the flat. Now, when I say transfer of share rights, title and interest, everything. Okay. Whereas in the case of provisional member, the title is not, title and share is not transferred. Only the rights and duties are transferred. Once he becomes the actual eligible claimant, all this will be transferred to that member. So this clarity is brought in to the transfer of interest upon death of the member.
Yes. So now, as ma'am said, like, a lot of clarity has been brought in now. Okay. So they have specified, this amendment specifically specified that whether if it is a will, it should be probated, or it's a succession or a heirship certificate should be produced. And sometimes, if a will is there, probated will, there will be, for example, 3 or 4 people where the property is there. One property is just given, the will is made by the member, wherein 4 people are the owners. Okay, I've said, like, they are the beneficiaries of that will, for example. Among those 4 people, there might be some family arrangement. Okay, where ma'am just said, like, relinquishment deed. Okay, now they all decide that, okay, the property should be named in the name of only one person. So rest of the 3 people will relinquish their rights in favor of the 4th one, and that's what is the the documentary, the family arrangement, basically. Okay, so this is what is the documents now. This is specified in this amendment so clearly. So there is no, doubt, or there is no confusion whatsoever. And societies can really get benefit out of this, right? What happens when the death happens? When there is a nomination is there, then the nominee member will be just called in for, and then he would be made the nominal member. And till the time the legal heirs come and then claim their claim, till that time this person will be taking care. And what are the documents which the society need to can bank on? They have also, the amendment has very clearly just given, okay, whether it is a will, then that should be probated, or it's a succession certificate or heirship certificate, or there could be some family arrangement, based on the will, right? So that's how the society can really look into that. And then who are the claimants? Earlier, it used to be left to the committees to decide. Okay, for example, if there is no nominee, so now the society or the committee can, in their best interest, can know and can really make a decision as to who can be the nominee. Now, in this case, okay, still that is there. If no nominee is there, right? But even so much so, like, who maybe even the claimants, even the committees used to decide. So now that is taken out and made very clear now. Yes, ma'am.
Next is introduction of cooperative housing association. And earlier we used to see, we have access to multiple acts all over pan India. We have been given giving webinars through some other platforms also. So one of the best cooperative act is the MCS Act. Okay, this is what we can vouch for it. And if you see and it is I can say it is the pioneer. So other acts have been copied from this. They have been taken sections from this and they have made it. Now, this particular section is introduced for the benefit of the in a particular cluster. They need not be in a plot, in the same plot or the layout, but definitely if they want anything to be done as a cluster in a particular sector, like we have in Navi Mumbai, we have sector 1, sector 2, sector 30, sector 40. So there in the cluster, if they want anything to be done, they can form association, temporary association, and they can get the work done, whether it may be the maintenance of common amenities or for the conveyance of land, anything, irrespective of they are in the same area. So this is also a very welcoming move in section 154B. Next, a small highlight is in the earlier law, the HUF was not added to a person, type of person, but now it is added. Now coming to defaulter is very clearly given who fails to make payment within 3 months from the date of the bill or due date, whichever is later. So this is all we wanted to tell you for today. We have picked up very important highlights which could give value to us. Sir, if we can have a recap now, we are already 8:53.
Yeah, so we have just talked about how this entire amendment has just came forth. It was first an ordinance which was passed by the Maharashtra cabinet in somewhere in 2019 March. Specifically, it was on 9th March, and later it was converted into a act in the July, that is July 23rd. The bill was passed. Amendment bill was passed in the state assembly, and that's how it became a law. So it would be, still it is. Since it is passed through an amendment, this amendment is actually effective 9th March because it was an ordinance which converted into a act in the month of July. And as we said, like it is a separate chapter has been carved out for cooperatives as 154B. There they have kept, they made it very clear which are the sections which are applicable to housing societies, and they've retained in 154B. And which are not applicable for housing societies, they have deleted. They said like these are not applicable very clearly. And this amendment also brings in certain changes to the the sectors. Sections which were retained as a part of the housing societies. That's what we really picked up. And the most significant is the elections. Okay, where 250 or less than 250 members of societies, they need not approach and wait for the registrar to appoint election officer for their, electing their office bearers. They can, elect their own returning officers amongst the member. Who is a member of the same society can be a returning officer who is impartial in the sense like his job is to only work as a returning officer. His job is to just, follow the rules and regulations given by the State Election Commission there for cooperatives inside of this MCS Act, and he will be the final authority who will declare the results of the what you call these elections. Okay, it's a really significant, right? Because if you see it, 70 to 80% of total cooperative societies are less than 250. So they largely get benefited. They need not queue up, with the registrar office for appointment of election officer for months together. Now they need not. But till such time the election officer was appointed, the existing committee was forced to continue. Now they can have they can just declare, okay, much before the expiry of the current committee, they can really just go ahead and then have their elections conducted. And yes, we have seen some changes to the types of members where associate members and then joint members have been very clearly given, and the provisional member, that is a nominal member earlier, now the provisional member, now they've defined very clearly. Housing federations, like the role of housing federations, now it is being expanded now to really work in coordination, work with as a representative of a registrar. Now there is a body, it's an association now. They've been given certain roles and responsibilities. They have given certain the rights, and where they can just get the authorities, from the registrar. That's how it is. The housing federations have been, and the transfer of rights upon death of a member. Now it made very clear which are the documents which need to be, really submitted by a member to the society, and upon which the society can process passing on the claim, I mean, the ownership of the flat to the legal, legal heirs of the deceased person. And of course, introduction of cooperative housing association, where collectively, people can really just get the benefit of collective, negotiation or collective processing of, for example, conveyance. If 4 or 5 societies which are like they want to apply for a deemed conveyance. Now we know that deemed conveyance is given by the registrar himself, right? Now 4 or 5 societies in that particular cluster can move, so that all the 4 or 5 societies applications are moved together by the registrar and then can be dealt with. Okay, because the authority who can really convey the the title to the society, okay, from the builder or the landowner is the registrar. Now, in which case collectively, the processing can be done. So these are the the important highlights what we thought. This is not the end of it. Yes, we can go further deeper into the respective nitty-gritties of where the changes have been made, which will impact the day-to-day activities of any society, is what we will just pick up as we go up. Right. Yes, ma'am. It's now 9 o'clock, and quickly we'll just go to the chat box if there are any questions.
What are the rights of provision member? Whether he can let out the flat? Yes.
Yeah, as we said, the provisional member is a caretaker. As a caretaker, yes.
Yes.
For the benefit of the the beneficiaries, he can let out, he can maintain the flat, but he has to deposit that whatever rent collected to the to the what you call legal heirs.
Yeah.
Like people who
Also,
are
the
depending
provisional member shall have a right to vote. उसको voting rights भी दिया गया है. It is
Till the
very
time-
clearly mentioned. Provisional member also has a right to vote, and he is responsible for maintenance of the flat. So in that case also he can rent it out, and he can finance a provisional member, and that money has to be put it, and he is answerable for the money which is collected to the legal claimant who is coming later on.
I'll tell you, Sunil sir, I'll answer this way, because
Yes.
he is just contacted for the payment of maintenance. So when he is contacted for the payment of maintenance, he can also let out, and from that money he can pay the maintenance also. So he can, to answer that question, yes, he can let it out.
Yes.
But he has to keep an account, because it's not his money. He cannot use for his personal listing, because he's only a caretaker, he's only a trustee. So the member who nominated him as a nominee, okay, that he has a trust on him that he can take care in his absence. So the nominee member, cannot keep that money for himself. He can let it out, but the money, whatever he's collecting, as ma'am said, like he is accountable, that he has to maintain an account as to how much is collected, how much has been spent for the maintenance of the flat, okay, and the balance he is answerable for to the legal heirs or legal people who will come forward to claim their property. Yeah.
Okay. गुप्ता एमवी जी का नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, सुधिंदर सर, where only one heirs is left behind, can he or she be accepted as a heirs in and enrolled as member on basis of affidavit of the heirs?
No, unfortunately, no. The amendment is very clear. There is a heirship certificate need to be obtained from the court, even if it is only one person is there. Okay, that there is a detailed procedure which the court follows. Okay, in certifying, and that is the ultimate document. Okay, there has to be not affidavit is not allowed. It has to be from the court, sir. Either a succession certificate or a heirship certificate, based on whether it's a movable, immovable, okay, property, and based on that, certificate has to be obtained, and basis which only it can be done.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next question है YouTube पे live है D'Souza. Yes, sir. A person wants to transfer the flat on his name, which was his father's, but he does not have the agreement copy. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's very clear, as we said, like, even though he is a son of a father who expired, okay, the flat was in father's name, but he has to obtain, legal heir certificate from the court, competent court, then apply to the society for the transfer of property in his name. If he is a single son, no mother is there, no other claimants are there. If the court says that he is the only heir of the person who has died, right?
Yes.
Basis which now the question here is where is the agreement copy? The original agreement should have been there with his father. Like, has the father, sold off to somebody? That we do not know the entire case. Now, in this case, even for applying for the headship certificate, the original should be there should be shown to the court. Then only they will, and the court will issue the headship certificate. Somebody is talking.
Yes. नहीं वो तो आपका ही आवाज आ रहा था.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes,
So now
yes.
he has to obtain the headship certificate, from the competent court. Then he need to apply, and if he doesn't have the original copy of the sale deed which his father or sale deed that his father had, he has to search for it. He has to locate where it is. Has it been mortgaged with some bank, or has it taken some loan? I mean, that details he need to just figure it out.
Yes. Next question.
The next question which I could see is, I am able to see the question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
If a member is a defaulter, can he rent out his flat?
Okay, so defaulter, the process, where the society follows in terms of recovery of that is a totally different from the ownership rights. He, as a owner, he can let it out. Absolutely.
He can let it out, but what happens is, I will tell you. Normally, what happens in this case is the whatever agreement copy is there need to be submitted to the society in the case of letting out a flat. So what happens is, particular society members will say, you please clear off the dues, then we will issue the NOC for that person to get in.
Yeah, see inside of within the rules and regulations, given for the recovery of maintenance, fees by the society, they will follow. As I said, like both are two different, parallel lines which they don't meet. But as a right, as a question like this, can he let it out? He can. He can let it out. But now he need to coordinate with the society for NOCs or whatever, or for allowing the tenant to just be in his place. Yeah, he can. And there is another question: can provisional nominee member take call for all decisions of redevelopment? He is not a owner. Very important thing: a nominee member is a caretaker as a trustee. Now, if it is in the best benefit, benefit of the member or the legal heirs, it may happen like the legal heirs are now they're minors. It may take another 10 years for them to become majors. In that 10 years, there is a redevelopment coming in. Yeah, the nominee member can go ahead and then do that because it is in the best interest of the beneficiary that the redevelopment is happening. So absolutely, it's okay for for the nominee member to take a decision about the redevelopment because it's all in the best interest of the beneficiary. Yeah. Or 2019.
Can a nominee sell the flat without the transfer of share certificate endorsement?
No, first of all, he cannot sell. He doesn't have rights to sell. He is only a trustee or a caretaker. So a caretaker does not have title to the goods that he can sell. Okay? Next question is, are 2019 guidelines applicable to flats transferred prior to 2019 under nomination? Can they allowed to sell or transfer under gift deed? Okay, the first question is, are 2019 guidelines applicable to flats transferred prior to 2019 under nomination? No, now transferred under nomination, now the flats which are transferred as, as a nominee member, of course, 2019, it's all, it's a forward. It's like, they are not retrospective. Okay, they're prospective. Any amendment is. So the answer is no, not before any transfer that have happened. It's not applicable. It's all prospective. And can they allow to sell or transfer under gift deed? Okay, somebody has been gifted already. Now, my father has gifted to me. I can sell it because I'm the owner. Okay, I'm the beneficiary of that gift, and then I can do anything. Okay, the gift deed, we have already dealt with that in another webinar. Like the gift, when it is given to me, I have to accept it. Once I've accepted it, now I'm the owner of it. Now I can sell, I can re-gift it, I can sell it, I can do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have to give testamentary document or probate or legal heirship certificate to the society for transfer of membership in case of death of a member and there is no nominee. Yes, this is very much necessary. When there is no nominee, definitely the testamentary documents are required for any transfer of life. This we already discussed in the webinar. In today's webinar only we made it very clear, especially section 154B was very clear that these are the documents which are required.
Okay, first answering to that, when there is no nominee, right? If somebody who comes forward as a nominee, yeah, I'm the son or daughter of my father or whosoever it is. Yeah, the society can make him as a nominee based on the best judgment that they can make. But it does not mean for the transfer of property, the documents what ma'am is saying, like those are testamentary, the will or probated will or succession certificate, heirship certificate, these are required. Okay. Can associate member be a signatory on check of society account? And if it does a fraud, who will be responsible? Owner can refuse legal obligation as power of attorney not issued to associate member. Okay, associate member, first of all, he is only a proxy, as we said. Okay.
No, he can be a committee member also, and he can be given powers. In writing, he will be getting, but member is responsible for whatever he is doing.
Absolutely. I mean, we said that. I mean, it is based on the recommendation. Like what you call I so and so. I mean, I just declare that so and so can be the associate member on my behalf.
Correct.
So when he's giving, when he's keeping somebody in his behalf, he is wholly responsible for all the acts done by the associate member.
It is very clearly given in the act. The associate member shall have a right to contest the election to the committee with prior written consent from a member. It's very clearly given. And any action contemplated against the original member in the act shall be applicable to such associate member also.
Okay, lastly, I think somebody is asked, can nominee gift? No, he cannot gift, sir, because only the owner can gift. Okay,
yeah.
Owner can sell, owner can gift. So the nominee is not the owner. Okay, he cannot gift it out. He is only a caretaker or a trustee of the the property. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, can we close the webinar here? We are already 9:11. And any other questions? Please contact us in the WhatsApp. My number and Sudhindra sir's number I'm giving, and I'm just putting in the chat box. You can call us in this number and send the WhatsApp query.
Yes, go ahead.
We prefer sending any query through WhatsApp so that we are aware of who the sender is and what the query is. Okay, and we will call up. Okay, and to clarify that. Okay, and we will fix the time and the mutual time that works for both of us. We will clarify that. Thank you, sir.
Exactly, and we
Thank you.
The webinar is complete. Yeah, Sunilji, you can give the vote.
Yes. Thank you very much, both are you. मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा आप सभी लोगों से, दोस्तों, आप जो YouTube पे देख रहे हैं, काफी सारे लोग YouTube पे देख रहे हैं, यदि आपको 1-to-1 हमारे जो कीनोट स्पीकर्स हैं, एक ये फ्री वेबिनार है दोस्तों, इसमें आपका मौका यदि YouTube पे कुछ सवाल रह जाए तो आप वेबएक्स की हमारी जो आईडी है, वेबएक्स आईडी पासवर्ड, उससे जुड़े और हमारे वेबिनार से जुड़े, मेरे ब्रॉडकास्ट ग्रुप से जुड़े, ताकि इस तरह के जो सभी सब्जेक्ट पे मैं आपको हमारे जो कीनोट स्पीकर हैं उनसे रूबरू करवा दूं। तो मैं इनवाइट करूंगा, आज का लेक्चर कैसा लगा, पार्टिसिपेट में से मैं इनवाइट करूंगा निकिता, एडवोकेट निकिता जी को।
Sir, it was very insightful, and I have been hearing and listening to Mr. Sudhindra and Mr. Uma ma'am's webinars also, and they have been very brief and very succinctly. They have put down all the legal points and issues that is not known to the layman. Ordinary लोगों को काफी knowledge मिल रहा है इन सब बातों से. It's really good webinar. It's a really eye-opening webinar, and we can definitely approach you. And it's really open to all the members. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir and Sunilji and Ramesh Prabhuji also for all your efforts for these kinds of webinars.
बिल्कुल,
Thank you, Nikita ma'am.
it's really privilege and honor, okay, to be in the midst of the interested people like you all, and your patronage really helps us go forward and go further and give this kind of knowledge to all the people who need it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.